Hi, everybody. It's Pam
Hello.
here from the Dick Biondi film, and we are here with you. It's Thursday, June 4th. We've got a really fun show for you today with a very special guest. First of all, we've got Joe Farina, the wonderful Joe Farina, who is my assistant and my associate, really. Joe is wonderful, and he is here, and he's going to introduce our special guest.
Thank you very much, Pam. We're so excited, so thrilled. It's an honor for me and for us to introduce our guest tonight on our Zoom interview, the original voice of the Buckinghams, just an all-around talented guy, Mr. Dennis Tufano. Dennis, welcome, buddy. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, Joe, Pam. Thank you so much.
We are so delighted you're here with us, Dennis.
Great. I wish I could be there with you, too.
So we, you know what? I just happened to see a video of you, and I had no idea. I know how talented you are, but I had no idea you played the harp, the harmonica.
Yes, I
Man,
do.
you were really good on that thing.
Thank you. Thank you. That was my first instrument, actually. That's what I auditioned with the Musicians Union in Chicago back in '65.
Wow.
My harmonica.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And did you first hear about the harmonica from, or first heard it from, because I know how much Bobby Darin.
Oh yeah, Bobby Darin had a lot
among the first.
Yeah. No, it was actually the first time I got involved with the harmonica was stealing one out of my father's drawer. And you know, when the parents go out and you're like, 10, 11 years old, you kind of go figure out how your parents pack their drawers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I found a Hohner Marine Band harmonica in there, and it was fascinating because my dad was a musician. So he played violin, saxophone. I heard music a lot in the house. So I didn't know there was a harmonica there. And strangely enough, I was a big fan of Jerry Murad and the Harmonicats, who were very big, like on Sullivan and all the shows, and they were a great orchestra of harmonicas, And so I played the harmonica, and I was going, wow, this is great. I cleaned it off, put it back exactly how I found it. They came home. About an hour later, my father comes up to me and he goes, were you in my drawer? And I said, yes, I was, yes. He said, did you play this harmonica? And I was like, I'm sorry, yeah, I did. He goes, well, here, it's yours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, that's great.
That was the beginning of it, And so, and then I just, and then in the beginning of the Buckinghams, I played a lot. Our first album, I have a lot of harmonica. Because I did a lot when we played live. I played harmonica a lot. And, it was like the Beatles were coming out with harmonicas. There was the blues in Chicago that we saw all the time. So, I was pretty inspired and got to see some pretty amazing harp players at Mother Blues in Old Town a long time ago.
That's great.
Yeah, so and I know a lot of people are surprised. I pull multi-act shows give me only 30 minutes to do something, Usually I could do an hour and get more songs in. But so every time I do come up with a good harp song, people are like, whoa, and it's a lovely instrument. There's a lot of emotion in it.
There really is, and you really have it. I mean, you can hear the blues come out in that with you.
Yeah, I got a lot of blues in me.
You do, don't you?
The North Side too.
Well, you're a Chicago boy, and you're living out in LA now. But you're a Chicago guy, and can you talk about what it was like growing up in Chicago and being part of the whole music scene with Dick Biondi and WS?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, when we got involved in music, the first thing, of course, with Carl Bonafede was kind of handling us at the time and making sure we were dressing right and all that kind of stuff.
The Screaming Wild Man.
Yeah, Screaming Wild Man. And Sharp Dresser. He used to take us up to Dick's. Because Dick was on from 9 till midnight. So we would go up there and sit there with our little 45 RPM record. And Dick would always be looking, waving at Dick through the window, and we'd wave back and everything. And we'd say, could you play this? He goes, well, the program director won't let me do that. He says, they got a list. We said, we understand, no problem. He said, but give me the record. Let's see if I have a chance. And so we kind of left half-heartedly thinking, well, at least he's got the record. By the time we got downstairs and sat in the car, he was playing All Go Crazy. And it
Wow.
was our first single. And he put it on 3 minutes before the end of the show. So they couldn't do anything about it. And that song went out 50,000 watts to
Wow.
6 states. And that he opened the door for us to run right through. Yeah, so that was great. And Dick was always great at the dances and the hops and stuff. He was always gracious too. You know, he was always a lot of DJs have a character that they do all the time, you know.
Yeah.
They don't break that character when they're talking to you. But Dick was just a real guy. His character was him. And it was so refreshing. And it was almost like hanging out with a cousin when we went up there. So it was really kind of cool to have him. He was probably the first to embrace the Chicago bands the way he did. And Art Roberts and all the other guys actually followed suit. You know, Mark Webber and everybody from all over the place. They were great DJs then too, so we had a lot of fun with them. Yeah, that was a special time. Yeah.
Very, very special. And what part of Chicago did you grow up in? And you and I have something in common.
We do.
I went to the same high school.
Oh, you went to Gordon? You did?
Yeah.
Oh, when did you graduate?
I graduated in 1990.
Oh, wow. You're such a boy. I graduated from Gordon Tech in 1864.
Oh, it was there then?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't in my mind, yeah. I stayed out of the sun, so I lasted longer. That was, 64 I graduated.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was the first year of the new school.
And what area did you grow up in Chicago?
I was born and raised up until 16 in Logan Square.
Okay.
And California and Fullerton, actually.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I used to just jump on the California bus and go to Gordon, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then in sophomore year of high school, my parents, we had a little apartment, strangely enough, ironically, on Mozart Street. So I was surrounded by music wherever I was going. So I guess I was getting subliminal messages. But then we moved further west down to Grand and Austin.
Okay.
And that's where we stayed until I left. And, you know, my mother lived there until she passed. So we were in that neighborhood for a long time.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. And it just seems to be, with all the Chicago bands, just from me talking with you and talking with the other bands like Shadows of Night and New Colony 6, there's just like guys in the neighborhood who made it big, but they really, you know, never lost where they came from.
No,
and I get that sense from you, and I get that sense from a lot of those Chicago bands.
I think it has a lot to do with the water in Chicago. People always say that if the pizza's not good, they say it's the water. If the beef sandwich doesn't taste right, it's the water. But I think that the Chicago people, and I say this all the time, I always love to come back to Chicago because as soon as I land at O'Hare, I feel like I'm home. I mean, I understand the people. They look at you a certain way. Chicago people are much more grounded than most people. And I think that's what's shocking about, when you become kind of famous. People don't realize when they talk to you, they go, well, you're kind of a regular guy. I go, yeah, I'm a regular guy who can sing, you know, and I have a love of music, but that doesn't mean I have to be, an arrogant person, because I don't believe that what we did is our fault. So I believe that we were at the right place at the right time. And we just happened to be in a musical vortex at that time. The Beatles and all the music changing rapidly. We got swept into the 60s and held on. And I think that we realized that we were part of the big music machine and we weren't like the guys. And so, I think there was maybe a period of a couple of months after our first tour, because we had a #1 record and people were screaming and stuff. We were doing guest appearances at clothing stores to sign our records. They'd have records set up and it was just screaming teenagers, and we didn't understand what that was about at all. You know, they didn't see us perform. They were just coming to the, you know, someplace in Wisconsin, of course, you know, and but it was great because I never felt, I always felt kind of insecure. I always felt like it was our chance to do something good, and we better be good at it this time, you know.
Mhm.
I think that attitude, and the whole band had that attitude. We just went up having a ball. Before we walked on stage, we looked at each other and said, let's have fun. Because
Yeah,
otherwise, a lot of bands walked out and posed it, you know, and tried to be somebody else. And,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I think
Well,
all
I
the
think
new
that
bands,
came across, Dennis, and I think that's why
yeah,
you guys are still performing today. I mean, it's
so
just amazing.
I think that, you know, of course, I took a little space off in between, which gave me a lot of rest. And, you know, went to acting and different things like that, and did a lot of theater and voice work. So I still had to keep myself in shape and keep my voice in shape. And then I got the big bug to come back to sing, which was the Bobby Darin show.
Right.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I have not seen it yet, but I'm
Oh
definitely
my
going to.
goodness.
Well, I
Was
did
one of-
perform at the, we came
Let
up,
me go get the orchestra. I'll be right back.
okay, what was the theater? The Copernicus.
Oh,
The Copernicus, I saw you perform.
well,
That
that's
wasn't just all Bobby Darin, right?
no, that wasn't the all Bobby Darin show, but
Yeah.
there was a lot in there. Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
the Bobby Darin show is really unique in the sense that it's a chronologically, it moves from the very early days
Oh.
through the middle to the end to the Vegas days.
Are you going to be doing that in Chicago again? Because I
I
definitely want
hope
to.
so. No, I hope so. It's just kind of expensive and hard to put the production together because of the size of the orchestra. Now I have been doing it with the Chicago Experience, and they're really good at playing the pieces.
Okay.
So I would probably do that again with them, and maybe add a few more horns, just because there's more horns in the body stuff, you know. But yeah, I'm itching to do it again.
Well, let us know because
Yes, please.
I
What?
Sure.
Absolutely. When did you start doing the Bobby Darin experience, and how did that come about?
I was still I still wasn't out there singing. I mean, I did a couple of things when I was taking my little hiatus from singing. I did the Olivia Newton-John concert in '82, and then I did the theme song to Family Ties, and I did a couple of little things that were really good little projects to work on. Not, you know, because I didn't know what I was going to be as an older singer. I couldn't go up on stage and jam with people. What do I do? You know, plug my neck into an amp? I don't know. So you can't. I didn't think there was a place for older singers. And well, strangely enough, it all happened in Chicago. I was visiting my sister, and she was playing CDs, of course, and she played a Bobby Darin CD came across on a little table, and I was singing along with it, walking through the house. And at the end of it, she said, "Yeah, you realize that you're right in the same pocket that Bobby Darin is? You were singing along with him." And she says, she says, "Sometimes I couldn't tell the difference." And she says, "You weren't trying
Wow.
to imitate him." She says, "But you seem to have a very natural tendency towards it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I never thought of that, but yeah, I was inspired by him a long time ago. I loved his work."
Yes.
So when I got back to LA, I went to a record shop right away, and I got like 3 box sets of Bobby
Oh,
Darin.
cool.
And it took me a year to go through it all. And I ended up with like 120 songs that I really liked that I could do. And then I got a musical director who said, "No, you can't do 120 tracks." So that's an 8-hour show. So we systematically brought it down to chronological high points of all the different genres, and we had a show, and it worked out good because it's almost like a musical documentary of his work. Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool.
It's
And
lovely.
you, of course, know how close Dick Biondi was with Bobby Darin.
Yes, we talked about it a lot. Vic used to come to how Bobby used to come to the station and stuff in the early days. You know, what's really interesting is I'm running into people who have been very great friends with Bobby Darin. And like Vito Picone from the Elegants. Remember the song, "Where Are You, Little Star"?
I love that song.
That's Vito Picone and the Elegants. That was their only hit record, #1 record all over the world. Vito is still in New Jersey. I work with him all the time. He's an amazing, amazing singer, and it's funny as hell. And he tells me stories about him and Bobby hanging out at the Brighton Beach under a lamppost singing doo-wop. We were all the same
Cool.
age.
Wow.
Whoa.
And it's just amazing when people come up and tell, oh, you, Bobby Darin, because they hear me sing a song, they come to me later and say, oh, I was friends with Bobby. He would have loved that, you know, blah, blah, blah. So it's great. So I got the blessing from a lot of Bobby Darin people. You know.
That's great.
Beautiful.
And I got to perform with, gosh, it's like maybe 8 years ago, in Vegas. I got a call in the middle of me doing my Bobby Darin thing. I get a call from Billy McCubbin. Now, Billy McCubbin used to be Bobby Darin's bass player.
Oh.
And I knew that because I did a lot of research to do my show. And I said, oh my God, he's calling me to tell me to cease and desist. You know, like, and he said, Dennis, we saw some video and a friend of ours saw your show and they called us. He says, we were just knocked out at the respect that you pay to the music. Would you come to Vegas and to South Point and be on the Bobby Darin Heart Foundation show? And there'll be a couple other singers. And he said, we have you do six songs, maybe 7 songs. I said, excellent, you know. And then he said, send me your set list. And I sent it to him, and he called me back and said, you're going to do more than 5 songs, okay? You got 25 songs here we could pick from. This is great. So I went out and did that, and it was amazing. It was Billy McCubbin, his bass player, and T.K. Kelman, his guitar player, for the last 7 years of his career, on either side of me. And I was singing Beyond the Sea, and I happened to look over at Billy McCubbin, who plays bass, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, you know.
Wow.
And I was nervous as hell. Probably the most nervous I've ever been performing in my whole life. Because in the 2,000 seat South Point, it was filled with longtime Bobby Darin fans.
Not too much pressure.
And because I said, where'd you get all these people to come in for this, you know? And they said, oh, that's Bobby's fan club for the last 50, 60 years.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I went, oh, great. Now, if I say one word wrong or if I do one bad thing, they're going to be right there. Because somebody told me before the show, they said, Bobby Darin fans do not suffer idiots. Anybody that goes up and tries to like do a bad rendition of Bobby Darin, like lounge guy and stuff, we don't like. Right. So this is what I'm told before the show. So I'm going to laugh. I don't sound like a lounge singer. I don't know, but it went over so well. Jimmy Scalia, who's the archivist, who runs their website for Bobby Darin, came up to me and made me an official Bobby Darin brother. And it's been a great relationship. He comes to a lot of my shows. And matter of fact, I played in Atlantic City with Lala Brooks and the Flamingos. He came because he lives in New Jersey. He brought me, he says, look, I got something I want you to carry with you in the pocket in your show tonight, but you got to give it back. I said, okay, what is it? He gave me a beautiful lighter, a gold lighter that had the initials BD on it.
Oh, wow.
It was Bobby's lighter.
Wow.
So I put that in my pocket and did the show that night and gave it back. He had to twist my arm to give it back, of course. So I'm getting a lot of good positive strokes of Bobby Darin stuff.
Well, you put your heart in it. It shows.
You have to. I mean, you have that. Those songs are so beautiful. I mean, I love the stories, the melodies. As a singer, I couldn't have picked a better book to sing. You know, so I feel very, very pleased that it's accepted the way it is.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Amazing.
It's
I feel like a cough coming on. I got to get some water. You guys, we're going to have to wrap this up in a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Take over.
That's Dennis, do you want to announce the winner of the T-shirt and mug, or do you want to wait for Pam to come back?
Wait for Pam,
Hey!
Salud!
Yay!
Salud! Hey!
We have got another winner of our T-shirt.
T-shirt and a mug.
And the mug.
And a mug.
And the winner is?
The winner is, congratulations, Bob Weiss.
Yay!
Yay, Bob! Bob! Congratulations.
Way to go, Bob.
Congratulations.
I'm going to put that in the mail for you right away.
There you go.
And congratulations. And I just want to thank Dennis. Thank you so much for being here with us. I mean, this is
Please
really
don't let me go.
We'll have to do this again. We're
Yes.
getting warmed up here.
This is well, I'm into my Zoom thing now because there's so much Zooming going on because of the lockdown.
Isn't that great?
And it's like, it's great to do because it does at least give us all a chance to see each other again.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so-
true.
Interact.
That's why we started
That's
this.
right.
Because we don't get to travel and come to your town.
Yeah.
But I did hear a rumor
Hmm.
that the Desplaines Theater is going to open. It's being renovated by Mr. Onesti, one of your sponsors.
Mhm.
And somebody told me that he mentioned my name as opening the theater. So this could be great in the fall. It could happen in the fall.
Oh,
So
exciting.
we'll do some
That's
big.
great.
That'd be
Oh, I'm
great.
so glad to hear that.
I may be jumping the gun on it, but that's what I heard. The rumor has.
Oh,
it.
Okay.
And
wonderful.
I'd love to do that. It'd be great.
Well,
That's-
we can't wait to see you again. And I just
Yeah.
want to say thank you again for coming out to our fundraiser this last year.
Oh, that was
We had a ball with you.
That was
great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
something else that I could have done. That was wonderful. And the people that I met there that I'd never known before, and the people that are involved in the whole Dick Biondi film and everything, it was great.
Wasn't it great?
It was exhilarating. I mean, I felt
Oh.
very, very picked up from it. And I think it was also nice that, it kind of brought Carol and I together to do
Yeah.
a song in front of people, with everybody I
Oh,
think
that was special.
wanted to
That was-
see.
And did you feel the love in the room for Dick?
Yeah.
Wasn't it unbelievable?
Oh yeah, no, that's and with all the Peter Rick and all the guys. I mean, gosh, it's wonderful that we're all still around and we can contribute. to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It
Very
is.
true.
So
Very
thank you again.
Thank you,
Thank
Joe.
you, Joe.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Dennis.
Dennis.
Great seeing you.
Mwah. Love you guys both.
Okay, sending our love right back. Okay,
And goodbye to
bye-bye.
everybody.